Welcome, friends. Welcome to Aman Bedi Astrology. So today again, I have the privilege and honor to have Shyam Kohli sir back on my channel. Welcome, sir. Pranam
Thank you.
aapko.
Namaskar.
Welcome back again, sir. Just we did the last two segments. Many people requested to know and learn more about the processor, which you mentioned in the segment one. So, sir, today, please tell us more about this processor, which is very important into our body or into our system. So, sir, please, which is mercury.
Sure, sir. Today, we shall be discussing little bit about the Mercury, planet Mercury.
Right, sir.
Mercury, as the name indicates, it's a very tiny planet, but it is very deep. Tiny but deep enough. Now, before going to the any planet, let us analyze what is its function in our horoscope and in our planetary system. What role they have to play. Now, in the previous segments, I have cleared about the energy flow of the planets. How the energy flows from Sun to Saturn. This I have explained in detail. Now we see that the signal of the Sun is reflected by the Moon and goes to the Mercury. Mercury is our human processor, and it analyzes the signals and gives the command to the Mars for action. This means Mars will act according to the signal of Mercury. Howsoever strong your Mars may be, it is irrelevant if your Mercury is not in a good direction.
Okay.
So you see that in many horoscopes, we see the Mars is exalted and we predict many things on the basis of Mars. Yes, he will be getting land, he will be getting this and that, he will be in military and other things,
Right.
but nothing happens.
Right.
Then we blame astrology.
Right.
It has not to be blamed. We must blame ourselves.
Right.
That we could not understand this tiny planet. The basic thing is the Mercury is the driving force for the Mars. And that's why in the another parameter of this astrology, that is esoteric astrology. And in esoteric astrology, Aries field has got esoteric planet Mercury as its controller. So esoteric astrology is little bit more deeper than this our astrology. So another signal from Mercury is interfered by the Venus. Venus is our desire, what we desire. Then there is a conflict bit of emotion and desire. Emotion means moon and Venus is the desire. Emotion and desire signals fall in the processor of Mercury.
Right.
Now Mercury will analyze these and see what is relevant. And this processor will be different for everybody. The reason is that Mercury degree, that is you call it a nakshatra or pada, decides in which direction it will be analyzing. Analysis of Mercury or processor is based on the degree of the Mercury. That's why even a single degree difference will make a lot of difference there. So here from this Mercury analyzes, if your moon signal is strong, then it will overtake the Venus signal.
Right.
And even then, whatever is your Mercury, Mercury you called in Sanskrit, it is a Buddhi.
Buddhi.
And moon Man. That is Man and Buddhi. So whatever comes out of this Mercury will be displayed in the outer world, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. So Mercury, we have to check what is Mercury. Mercury for different houses, Mercury for different signs, Mercury for different nakshatras. And so this analysis is required. That's why it is called the processor. And we, in the olden days, we say a dictum that your buddhi bhrasht ho gayi. This is your Mercury is not functioning properly. Whatever you see, and now the Mercury is very important in day-to-day life.
Right.
Everything whatever we do, it is via Mercury. So this is the channel through which we pass. Now, in my book, the chapter 4, I have given the energies of planets. This book is named as Astro Key to Profession.
Okay.
Available on Amazon.
Okay.
So I have given.
Sir, can you also repeat one more time the name of your book?
Astro Key to Profession. Astro Key to Profession. And that is basically written for profession, basic professions purpose, how to determine professions. And in that, the basic things I have given, the energies of the planet, how to utilize the energies of the planet. Now here we see that we have got 7 planets, basically from Sunday to that is Saturday, 7 planets, and you have seen the spectrum. That is, spectrum is made up of 7 colors. That is Vibgyor, violet, blue, green, yellow, red. Vibgyor, you and orange, you have seen this thing. These have got different wavelengths, and Mercury falls in between. That is, the green falls on the top of this. Okay. And that's why it is very suitable for the eyes. It does not put any strain. Green color does not put any strain on our eyes. Now, what is below violet? Violet is the Saturn portion, and red is the Mars portion. Mars and Saturn. Saturn is, and the envelope of this is Rahu, and here it is Ketu. That's why a dictum is given in the our old text, Shanivat Rahu Bhaumvat Ketu. Saturn, Rahu is just like Saturn, and Mars is just like, Ketu is just like Mars. So if you go with this, you will be clearly knowing that all energies are within these 7 segments, and Rahu and Ketus are the envelope, just like a file. These are the envelope, in between these are closed. When we take birth, this file opens, and we work accordingly to that path. So Rahu Ketu is only the Rahu is the forward path and Ketu is the backward path. So between 2 limits, we are moving in the life. So in a mathematical model of this astrology, nearly 80 pages I have written, and there I have seen that these are Rahu and Ketu are the integrals, the upper limit and lower limit of the integrals. That it is beyond this course. Then we come to the next point. So this color function is that this green is in between, and that is making the balance between the violet and the red. On the both side, between Saturn and Mars, it is making the balance between Saturn and Mars. Mercury is a balancer for Saturn and Mars. What is Saturn? Saturn is the defense. Mars is the offense. Your action of the offense and defense are controlled by the, balanced by the Mercury. So Mercury is a balancer, or it is a diplomat, you can call it, balancing 2 sides, opposite sides at war. Saturn and Mars are at war because Saturn is a potential energy, Mars is a kinetic energy, and whenever they come in a contact, there is a huge exchange of energy. So that's why it is called a balancer. Now, we relate the things with our old scriptures, but how it has been related, I have thought many years, and I come to know little bit about this, that let us see the insight of zodiac signs first. Not in a superficial way, the Aries ruled by Mars or Taurus ruled by Venus. That is a upper layer only.
Okay.
We should go little deeper. Now, the whole universe is made up of two things, matter and energy.
Okay.
Matter and energy. This sun is energy and moon is matter. This is Purush and Prakriti. You can call it a Shiva and Parvati. They are a combined combo. This is called Ardhanarishwar. That is the half male and half female, means one has got energy, another has got this material. So production is all through the material. Now 4 and 5, that is Cancer and Leo sign, when they combined, the total is 9. It is complete. Similarly, you move here, you reduce 1 and add 1, 3 and 6. That is combination is 9, and this is the circle of the Mercury. This is circle of the Mercury. Now, how it is related with our old these scriptures? Yeah, let us see. Now, these are Shiva and Parvati. Mercury is a Ganesh, and he is taking round of Shiva and Parvati. Oh. You know the story.
Yes.
That he took the round of the Shiva and Parvati and completed the cycle of the whole universe. So this is that Mercury is just like a Ganesh. That's why Lord of Mercury is Ganesh even. And he is revolving around the sun, Shiva and Parvati. That is it. Now you move from this place. Now you move a little bit from this place, one less and one add. Then you have got the circle of the Venus, then Mars. Every circle has got meaning. So I am not going to in a much detail of those things, but only to limit ourselves that Mercury is just like a Lord Ganesh, and it is very close to Sun and Moon. Very close to Sun and Moon, and that's why Mercury does not go more than 44 degrees beyond Sun.
Yes.
So it is very close to the Sun. So this is the meaning of a Lord Ganesh. Now, Lord Ganesh has got a vehicle called mouse, and known as the vehicle. And what is the use of that vehicle? I'll come later on when we explore a little bit more. Now, this Mercury is basically the connection maker. Mercury is like a Narad Rishi who can move from at will. So he is the fastest traveler, and Mercury travels with the speed of light because it comes in the center of the spectrum, the speed of light, and he can move anywhere and there. So it is a connection maker. All connections with the power supply. This sun is the power supply, and Mercury is the connection maker. That is the cables, you can call it, or any device that connects the power to this circuit is Mercury. And now in the body, the blood flows, and there are numerous veins, and these are controlled by, these nerves are controlled by the Mercury. That's why any networking system is controlled by the Mercury. It is spread like a networking system. It is controlled by the Mercury. Now, next is Mercury. I'll take the few qualities of Mercury, then finally we'll come to the horoscopes and explain what is their use. Now, in this Mercury, I have explained as a messenger Narad. Mercury is a curious and restless. Because Mercury, why it is curious? If we want to analyze Mercury, we must go with the 3 pillars. that is house, sign, and nakshatra.
Nakshatra.
Then we will come to know something about the Mercury. Mercury is the ruler of house number 3 and house number 6. Any ascendant you have, but the Mercury will be the main ruler of the house number 3 and 6. This means Mercury is, what is third house? Third house is basically the first mental house.
Right.
First mental house. In the first house we are born. In the second house we go for the food and other material things.
Right.
And in the third house, when we are filled with the food, we think something. We first start thinking. Third is the neighbor. We go outside. We go outside, meet our friends or someone neighbor, and we interact with him. Communication. We interact with him, and we we come to know that there is a world beyond this physical world, and that is inside our head, and it is long to explore. So this is the first initiation point of the mental sign. So this is the first mental sign. Now this is very curious because it wants to know. Third house denotes the desire to know. Right. What is your desire to know? How much you are curious for knowledge? It is known by the third house. Now suppose you have got a movable planets like moon or Mercury. You are very quick to know the things. You are maybe even impatient to know. Right. But suppose you have got Saturn here. You are profound and slow to know. This third house is basically the house of arms, hand, and fingers. If you suppose moon is the Mercury is in the third house, they cannot sit idle. They change instances very quickly. Right. Now third house is finger. Now finger will be moved. You will just raise your finger in the class. Yes, I will tell this answer. Or you put a query, yes, why it is so. So if moon and Mercury are there in the third house, you just imagine that you are very curious to know. You may put questions. You may answer the questions. But suppose if you have got Saturn here, then what will happen? Saturn is a slow. Your finger will go slowly, but in the middle you may come down. You won't ask much. So these are the ways how you tackle yourself in the classroom. Right. Or to study.
So what about, sir, other planets? I know I'm a bit off topic, like Jupiter, Venus.
Yeah.
What are your views on that?
Yeah, Jupiter is actually a teacher, full of knowledge. Whether he has knowledge or not, but he pretends that I am knowledgeable. Jupiter is Guru and wants that says that I am knowledgeable, and a teacher will hesitate to ask anything. Teacher will hesitate to ask anything. So Jupiter here will not go for asking, but in a private, he may go. After the classroom, he may go to the teacher and discuss the things. But in the classroom, he won't ask. So I'll explain 3 9 axis also when in other parameters.
Right. So this was very interesting slide. Very interesting.
Now we know that our horoscope is made up of 12 houses basically, and I call it as a 4 highways. 4 highways I see. That is 1, 5, and 9. This is your dharma house, means duty house. 1 means action, 5 means drama or expression, and 9 means knowledge or travels. Now you just watch. 1, 5, 9. The ruler is Mars, Sun, and Jupiter. They are friends. All highway stations are friendly. So these are friendly, 1, 5, and 9. Now the second is 2, 6, and 10. That is Venus, Mercury, and Saturn.
Again, friends.
Again, friendly. Now, what is the meaning of these? That I'll let you later on, but not in this topic. And another is highway, that is a communication or calm highway, taking connections. 3, 7, and 11. There is a difference between 3, 7, and 11. What is the difference? 3, very close. 7, 1 to 1. 1 to 1. That is marriage or other things.
Right.
No other interference is there. Only two parties.
Right.
And 11 is 1 to many.
1 to many.
That is networking. So Jupiter in this highway generally goes for preaching, teaching. If Jupiter lies on this highway,
totally makes sense. Yeah.
And another is 4, 8, 12. 4, 8, 12 is a all watery signs. 4 is a Gangajal, pure by like mother. 8 is your bathroom, is a sewage plant. And 12 is your sea.
Samundar.
Pure Samundar. So these are the 4 highways. Now, what is relevance with this Mercury? Mercury is on the 2 highways. That is communication highway and this 2, 6, and 10. This highway. Mercury rules these 2 houses, 3 and 6. So let us see what is the meaning of the first highway, 3. Here it is prone for the communication. All communications, whether it is via mobile or by signaling or by another means. So these are the Mercury function on this highway. And that's why here in this, on this highway, it is making many connections with the public also. Here making the 7th house also. And here Mercury is in the communication mode. Now here Mercury, that is Virgo, that is 6th house. Maybe any sign here, but it is 6th house. This is the house, first house of obstacles. I call it the first checkpost. Whatever you have done in the past, you will face here, and this is your toll tax you have to pay. You have to pay the toll tax here, and then your vehicle will move forward. This is the first station where your vehicle tire rubs with the ground. You feel the speed breaking down. You feel that your flow of speed is breaking down in the life.
I love the way you explain, sir.
Now, why this we are facing? Everybody has got the 6th house. But why we are facing this thing? Something we have done, that's why we are facing. Because there is a cause and effect relationship. Without any cause, there cannot be any effect.
Absolutely.
So the meaning of highway becomes clear. Now I'll explain how.
Right.
Second is the house. If you take your food type, right. Second is the mouth. You take the food from here. Correct?
Absolutely.
If you take a good food, proper balanced food, it will be reflected here. If you take a lavish food, this will be affecting here also. So the root cause of the 6th house is not the planet and other things causing problems. The problem lies in the second house. Yeah. If you take a lavish food, you will be having a stomach problem. You may have a stomach problem, and that's why this is causing the problem here. So you have to remove control here, not here. This is your OPD. OPD of the hospital. This will give you just a signal. Please take medicine or regulate yourself by the exercise. Else, you will be thrown in the surgery ward of the 8th house. And even then, if you are not alert enough, you will be going to ICU. So this is the first meaning. Now, for example, suppose you have done misuse your tongue. Second house also is a speech and tongue.
Speech.
If you abuse someone, what will happen? It will be reflected in the sixth house. What is sixth house? It is the working environment.
Great.
Where you work. Your colleagues will be creating problem to you. So these are the highways. If you earn by bribery and store it here, it will come as a pain here. So every aspect of life is indicated on these highways. And if you can understand that who is there on the highway, a very simple logic I am putting, that that can give you a very great clue in analyzing horoscope.
Right.
And to my students, I always go with the practicals. That suppose this is your highway. This is designated for Venus, Mercury, and Saturn.
Okay.
Now, any friendly planet will be welcome on this highway. And if any enemy planet, he will be thrown out or he should surrender there. So this is the logic when you predict the things, that what will be the role of, say, sun here. So suppose on this highway, sun falls here in Capricorn sign.
10th house. Okay.
Sun is not friendly to the Saturn.
Right. Right.
Saturn will say either darkness or light. Saturn is darkness, right, and sun is light. And when material is there, light falls, a shadow comes. Shadow is Saturn, light is sun. Right. Right. This means either you will remain here or I will remain here. Either you will shine or I will shine. And there will be war. And whosoever has got strong points in Sarvastak there, he will be winner. Right. That is the thing. Anyway. Now, Mercury is just like a barometer. Right. Mercury is a planet, and also Mercury is a metal. You know, Mercury is a metal. And his story lies with the Lord Shiva. Right. Lord Shiva, it is in the story of the Shiva Puran, when Shiva was sitting near the fire and Parvati was there. Okay. Then, due to some reason, the semen fell in the
oh yes, 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 yes.
And it did not burn. It slipped down, and that shiny material is Mercury. Now, it has got a lot many technical meanings, and those who goes only for this biological sense, it is not there. There is a deep meaning. I won't explain it here, but there is a deep meaning for that. Right. Now, this Mercury is the known metal with the highest density of 13.6. Right. Very heavy metal. Mercury is very heavy metal. Heavy. Even known heaviest metal. Yeah. So a small quantity of mercury, it in a bottle of 1 liter, it will be 13.6 kg. So mercury is very heavy. Now mercury was used. Mercury is very sensitive to two things: temperature and pressure. If temperature is raised, mercury will expand. If temperature is low, mercury will shrink. And all thermometers in olden days, nearly 10 or 15 years earlier, were made of mercury thermometers. Mercury. Have it. Yeah. So they can sense the temperature. Another thing, they can sense the pressure. If your pressure is high, mercury level will go. In blood pressure instruments, this mercury was used. Right. But now you have got electronic system. We have seen that those also, that mercury, when you press there and the level of the mercury rises, and from there. So this means mercury is sensitive to the temperature and pressure. And these two things are very important for the atmosphere.
Right, right. So sir, when you connect this with temperature, are you connecting this on a deeper level with planet Mars?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
In esoteric astrology, if you go, then the Mars input will change the Mercury.
Mercury, yes. That makes a
Now,
lot of sense.
yeah. Now, what is happening in the atmosphere? Daily weather condition. It is mostly dependent on the temperature and pressure.
Right.
आज बहुत गर्मी है. Today it is hot. It is today cold. Who will sensing? Your Mercury is sensing this thing. And what is Mercury? Mercury is skin.
Right.
And your skin first senses the temperature and pressure. So Mercury, your sensor is here, Mercury. That is the outer layer of the body. That is skin. Mercury is there to sense these things. So Mercury is connected with when Sun, Moon, and Mercury. These three are connected, then you can know the event properly.
Right.
Why? Sun is the root cause of any event. Moon is the production of that event. Factory. Right. Production. That's why sun sign and moon ascendant, sun ascendant and moon ascendant. And the third factor nobody knows and nobody takes into care, that is Mercury. Mercury is well related with the day-to-day transit. And transit condition is best judged by the Mercury. So if sun or moon or ascendants indicate an event, and if Mercury does not indicate, event will not happen. Okay. That's why I take always in the action. Whenever I predict, I take the Mercury ascendant along with sun and moon ascendant. Wow. And after that, you don't need, even if you are skilled enough, you don't need divisional charts. Right. D9, D10 and the other things. They are actually, the divisional charts are very elusive. The reason is, for that you need the best accuracy of the time.
Yes, otherwise it will change.
Yeah, and if you know the Nakshatra and Pada, you are very close to the event. So mostly the events can be very well predicted by the Sun, Moon, Ascendant and Mercury. These four charts will indicate many things. And you can do it. Practically you will observe and you know it.
Right.
Now the most important section is of Mercury is student, and this is for the learners. Student learning does not mean that you are studying in class 10, 11 or engineering or something. Every day you learn. Every day you learn. Why? Because Mercury is the ruler of the 6th house. What is 6th house? Daily routine, 24 hours, right from rise to the sleep. And it is included in the profession 2, 6, 10. Why? 6 is the daily routine. You go daily to the offices and remain there for a long time. That is Saturn, 8 hours, 10 hours.
Yes.
And you earn and come in the evening for relax. That is Venus. Why these are the 2, 6, 10? And you have just seen that profession, just see 2, 6, 10 and 11 is just like a masala in everything. 11th house you put everywhere. Yeah, it is 11th house. It is your fulfillment. What fulfillment? 11th house is second from the 10th. 11th house is third from the 9th. Why fulfillment? This is a general thinking that you just add 11. Whether you go in a KP, whether you go in any and a book, why you assign few houses only for any profession? Why right, you assign?
Right, sir.
If you want to be very honest, you must not assign few houses.
Yeah, must explore more. Yes.
Yeah. So now we are coming to a very important point, the student and teacher relationship. This will explore what subject one must study, how the person should study, what should be the manner of study, and when he should go for the study, and what are the interests of his field or interest, where he can survive, can give best output. Now, 3 and 6, these are the two houses of the Mercury. Mercury is a student Mercury is a teenager, and most of the things in the teenage, we are elastic enough, and whosoever comes, we are molded by that. That's why Mercury, we say, kaan ka kacha.
Right.
हाँ, वो Mercury can listen everybody and mix with everybody. That's why it is called aunch. Yeah, male and female, he aunch, but not in practical way aunch. He is a prince, and prince is very lovable.
Right.
And most of the prince are not good in behavior if we get the bad company.
Right.
Bad company, mostly the princes are with the servants.
Right.
610. And if servant or Saturn is not good, he will spoil your Mercury. If your servant is not good, he will spoil you. And another is the Venus, your attraction.
Again, the desire part.
Yeah, your attraction can spoil you. Now we come to the this 3 sign has got opposite the 9, and 6 sign has got 12.
Again,
These
Jupiter.
2 signs are of the Jupiter. Here is the student, here is the Jupiter. Here is the student learning, here is the Jupiter. Now, how they act? Here the student has got desire. He wants to know the things. And the journey of knowing to the known, becoming a student to teacher. What is there? Third house number 3 to house number 9. Here we want to know, here we get the knowledge. Right. This means the planets in between 3 to 9th houses will reveal your true picture of your student life. What are your favorite points? What are your obstacle points? And how to tackle those? This can be seen from 3rd to 9th. Not only this, that 3rd house Mercury is good and Nakshatra is very good and he will explain. No, because learning requires the moving. And moving from 3rd house to the 9th house. And when you come to the 4th house, you get the emotional touch. Right. Whether you will be swayed by this or not. Here you have got a confidence. You want to express yourself. Here you face the problems of you sort out the right from the wrong. It is the house of conflict. Here there will be a lose for you in a partnership, whether they will take you away from there. And here you may involve in the sex and other things, right, and in transformations. Right. So you have to cross these barriers. Then you will reach here. It is not so easy that a student comes and teacher will tell you and you give exam and you are okay. No. This is the actual journey that our seers, our rishis used to give to our students. Right. Now, the other aspect is there may be a very clever student, very knowledgeable student. They have got a very potential to know the things. They know lot many things. And here is a teacher. And now suppose teacher is not able to answer the queries of the student. Right. What will happen? What will happen?
Yeah, very interesting.
The teacher may get frustrated little bit, but teacher is a teacher. He will, if he is a good teacher, he will say, okay, your query is very good, right, and I'll take time to think over it. Right. I'll take time to think over it. Now, the question is in the mind of teacher. Right. How to tackle that student tomorrow? How I should tackle the student tomorrow? He has asked some very deep question, and I am not able to know it. Now, should I tell him good or bad or a false thing? If Rahu is here, he may manipulate the things. But if he has got a Sun or Jupiter aspect, he'll say, no, truth is my journey. Then what he will do? He will go to his sadhana kaksh, 12th house, meditation house. He will sit in a silence and take the signals from the universe and find out the answer. Here he will become the student himself. Try to find out the answer of those things, and he will come back again and he will tell. This is the picture of a true teacher. But the portrait teachers may manipulate the things and manipulate in such a way that you will get confused and finally you won't ask. So these are the two stages. So this is the student and teacher relationship. Now, third house, analysis, discussion, quarrel, and solution. These are the 4 points basically carried out during the study tenure.
Right.
Now, as a teacher, he is an explainer, speak, think, and write. Count and measure. That is also the Mercury, counting and measuring.
Right.
Now, Mercury has got this quality of, it is a dual sign. Both are a dual sign.
Right.
Now, dual means in a article on mathematical operators of planets. I have explained that Mercury is a plus and minus, both way. The person with a strong Mercury can count forward and backward. Both counting he has got very good. Just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He can pronounce these things very well. Both counting, that is plus and minus operators in mathematics. The student who has got good Mercury will be very good in
numbers,
positive and negative. Those who have got good Jupiter, they are very good at multiplication. Jupiter is an expander, amplifier, multiply. And those who have got a good Saturn, they are very good in division. In division. So, and Rahu Ketu are also there in integral and differential and calculus. I have taken many things, but it is out of these things. Right. So, Mercury is basically the our intellect showing both way. Right. Because Mercury is a processor and digitalize the things, cut down, positive, negative, small pieces. Now, educations, there are 2 types of educations, Mercury basically, based on the Gemini and based on Virgo. Virgo is a conflict solving. This means I basically call it a fault finding. And accountancy is the main field where this Virgo is involved. Right. And communication is the main thing where this Gemini is involved. Mercury is same, but the function is different for the science. So it is basically the commerce, accountancy, maths, social science. Social science, where it will be? It will be in the 3rd house. Why? It will interact with the society because it will fall on this 3, 7, 11 highway. That is social highway. Language learning, computers, astrology, aviation, law, grammar, music, and dance. Now, all those areas where there is a hand movement, whether it is a music or it is a cricket or it is a basketball. So, in a basketball, the feet and hand, 12th and 3rd, and Mercury. In cricket, you can see in my book on professions, I have given many things about the sports also, how to judge the sports practically. Now, yeah, these are the few points about the Mercury. Next, Mercury, wherever Mercury is there, there is an interference.
Sir, can we continue this just for the audience sake in the second part?
Okay.
Yep.
We take a break for.
Right.
Okay. Break for